Hello! It's been a long time. Going back to work is not good for posting YouTube videos. Right, what have we got on the lathe today? Well, on the lathe today we have a bit of sycamore. It's had a bit of turning. It's on a screw chuck. It's cross grain, but it's one of those ones that's going to be a bit taller than it is wider. And it's going to have some texture and some colour. I've got to pull out all the stops, haven't I, on this one? That's better, down the bottom anyway. That's fun to do. Bit fast, I think. Let's Right, a bit of clyster medium mixed in with my paint here, which is Jo Sonja Rose Gold. Turn the speed down a little bit. Just mix that in. Going to have another colour on the go, which is pearl white. Again, I'm just going to thin that with a little bit of clyster medium. It makes it easier to apply, thins it down a little bit, and is supposed to make it a little bit transparent. Mix, 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 mix. Notice some of the paint hasn't really gone on. Could get a bit of green going on, give it a sort of a aged copper kind of look. Not sure if that's the way I want to go, although this rose gold is actually, I would say, quite coppery in colour. I might just go completely back to black. A little bit of white left. One or two places I think it could be blended in over. I didn't sand this, it's a bit of a rough texture. I quite like that. You may not. You may not like it. I should probably leave it to dry before I put a foot on. Am I going to leave it to dry before I put a foot on? What do you think? just need to trim across this top edge. Burning smell. Is that the smell of burning paint? Could well be. Now, what I've got to bear in mind is this wall thickness is compromised by the beading. So I've got to have that in mind. This top edge is a little rough. Just going to clean that up and then get the colour on. Now, I'm not going to open this flute too much and invite a catch. Will resort to a little bit of sanding on it. Just on that edge. That's all right. A bit deeper hollowing out needed. Good old cut and polish. Now I do need to do something about that foot, but that's fun. I like the beading on it. I'll do the foot another time. Maybe the decoration isn't to everyone's liking. That's probably a first for my channel. But it was fun to do. Didn't quite get the shape I wanted. A few off-camera experiments went a little bit wrong. You may have noticed it getting smaller. But the beading was fun to do. And that was done with one of Les Thorne's signature spindle gouges, but have it very sharp, have the tool rest very close to the work, and you just have to go for it. Yeah, really, that's all I can say. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, rolling it over the bead. Hopefully the video shows it. If you want to practice it, do it at a slow speed to begin with. But that was something I learned on the recent course I went on. Recent? When was it? July? July! Reasonably recent course that I went on with Les Thorne. So if you're not a member of the AWGB, join! It's very reasonably priced, and you get access to workshops, some of which are free. This probably... how would I finish it? Well, I would of course reverse turn it. I might keep a foot on it. I might part it off completely and sit it on that bottom bead. They're nearly all the same size. If I were being hypercritical, I would say probably some of them are a little flat on the top. But it feels very nice in the hand. I like that rough feel, actually. I've got some finish that I'd put on it, or perhaps not. Perhaps you'll see it behind me on a shelf in a future video and think, oh, another thing he never finished off. And in the words of another show on that bombshell, thanks for watching.
I might do a Stuart Farini.
Well, that's it for this week, but I was lucky enough to go to the Conkers Woodturning weekend earlier in September, where I saw David Lowe's demo, an off-centre angled bowl with an interesting chucking feature, which he kindly donated to me at the end of the demo, giving me the challenge of trying to finish it off, which means trying to get it into a chuck and get that flat. Bit of a challenge. Thanks, David. Be sure to give it a go, and maybe even have a go doing one from scratch in a future video. So watch out for that tilted off-centre bowl. Sounds like the kind of thing I ought to have a go at.